My life definitely changed in the best way possible when I changed my mentality. Every day I can see myself growing a lot more patient, a lot more positive, a lot more accepting of the bad things that do happen to me. And it's not because I made some drastic change in my life. It's really just the fact that I changed my mentality in the most simple way possible. Pretty much every day I tried to make the small effort to just change my mentality and recognize that life wasn't happening to me, it was happening for me. And I can't remember exactly who said it. It was in a YouTube video that I was watching, but it's honestly so true. Life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. And when I heard that quote for the first time, I honestly just started to reflect on how I used to respond or how I reacted to a situation that happened to me in the past. I reflected on all the ways that I responded to a negative or a challenging experience that I went through, and I honestly realized that I've been going through life as a victim the entire time. And not even a victim. I wasn't a victim growing up. I was just a person with a victim mentality. I felt like life was happening to me. I felt like every single challenging situation was just God throwing stones at me, God or the world just treating me unfairly for no reason. That's the way that I viewed it at first. But I'll say it again, none of this stuff is happening to us. It's happening for us. God is putting us in a different situation that we're not used to, we're not comfortable with. He's putting us in situations that may seem like failures or challenges in the moment, but in reality, it's just shaping us into the person that we want to become. And even if we don't recognize it at the time, everybody goes through life wanting to be or acting like the victim in any situation, because acting like a victim in life is sometimes easier than recognizing that we are to blame for some of the things that happen to us. Because of this huge ego that every person has, we feel like it's either we're the victim of a situation or we're just the worst person in the world. And if somebody, God forbid, somebody ever comes up to us and says that they're the victim, the first thing that we're going to do is not listen to that person, not empathize with their situation and recognize how we did them dirty. Sometimes our first reaction is to get in defense mode and victimize ourselves, instead of just taking a step back and recognizing that we're not always the victim of life. Things aren't always happening to us. Sometimes things are happening for us. But that's just a little example of why we walk through life thinking that it's happening to us. But when I think back to the past and kind of walk myself through those situations that I've been through that at the time seemed like the worst situations in the world, I realized that I responded in a similar way every single time, whether this is with another person or just something bad that happened to me. Maybe I failed at something, whatever it is, I pretty much responded in the same way. And that response was always, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why is God doing this to me? When is this going to end? Something along those lines, that victim mentality that I was just talking about. And maybe I would cry, maybe I would complain, or maybe I would just throw my fists at the world in anger, just understanding how unfair everything really is. But none of those situations necessarily broke me. And I can honestly say that I never went through any of those situations without learning something about myself, learning something about how to redirect the situation so I don't find myself in that negative situation again. I can confidently say that I have learned something from every single failure that I've had in my life. There's not a single challenge or failure or whatever situation it was that I went through that I didn't come out a different and better person. Things like somebody passing away or a loss of a relationship, or maybe shooting your shot at somebody and them rejecting you terribly, or even failing a class. It could be anything that I have went through, and I can confidently say that I have grown from that situation. And most of the time, it takes us a little while to recognize that a lot of these situations aren't happening to us. It's happening for us. It's because God is putting us in a situation to grow and evolve so we can redirect that situation differently in the future. And it takes us way too long to recognize this. It might take us about a month or 2 months to recognize how much we've actually grown from that situation. But recently I've just started to put myself in that perspective as soon as the situation happens. And it all starts with the little things that might have pissed you off in the past. Like, for example, me coming home to record some videos and then leaving my microphone in my college dorm. So now I'm recording this video with my phone as a microphone. And in the past, that's definitely something that would have ticked me off. That would have set me off. I would have crashed. I probably wouldn't have even wanted to make a YouTube video anymore. But with that mentality shift, recognizing that things didn't happen to me, it happened for me, I'm thinking to myself, why did this happen? Why would God let me leave my microphone? And then it started to click that sometimes I don't even use that microphone to record videos. Usually it's just a waste of time. That might definitely held me back a lot more times than it helped me. And I could elaborate and explain what I mean by that, but I actually don't feel like explaining, so I'm not going to. But it's honestly little things like that that just kind of have me recognize that nothing in life is happening to me. Everything is happening for a reason. Everything is happening for me, to serve me, to make me a different, better person, to develop me into the person that I want to be in the future. Last semester in college, I did really poorly in a math class, and it wasn't because I wasn't smart enough. It wasn't because that math class was just generations ahead and it was some Einstein level stuff. It was honestly because I just had poor study habits, and I thought that high school mentality of only applying a little bit of effort would work in college. And then it got to a point where I started to study a little bit in the end, and then I questioned, how come if I'm still studying, I'm still not doing as well as I thought I would be doing in this class? Then after reflecting on it a little bit, I realized that God didn't really want me to succeed in that class. And it's not because God is evil, but it's really because if I succeeded in that class, it would have just subconsciously showed me that those poor study habits and me only applying a little bit of effort is going to fly in college. And I feel like everybody kind of already knows that stuff is not going to work in college. So I think that I had to do poorly in that class, or I would have never changed the way that I operated. And that's just another situation of feeling like something is happening to you. It feels like I was a victim of that situation. I'm not doing as well in a class as I thought I was going to be, and whole time it was actually my fault. But none of that was happening to me. It was all happening for me. And I'm so extremely grateful for the fact that I didn't do as well as I wanted to, because it changed me. It developed me as a person. It changed the way that I operated. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a superpower at times. You're not going to be as patient as you want to be unless you change and redirect the way that your mind works. If you walk through life and carry yourself as a victim, you're going to get victim results. You're going to have people walk all over you. You're never going to find that resilience or strength to persevere through challenges because you're strictly walking around life as a victim. That's why we have people like Kanye West saying that they're beefing with Jesus, saying that they're beefing with a God, because he thinks that Jesus is doing all of this negative stuff to him, and he's not reflecting and understanding that Jesus is trying to put him in a different situation. Jesus is trying to turn him into a different person so he can reflect and grow as a person. So try to change your mentality and find positivity in the negatives that you're going through in life, because I can guarantee you that there is something positive in every moment. Even if in the moment it feels like we can't find that positivity, I can guarantee you there's going to be something in the future that you look back on and you reflect that failure or that challenge was preparing you for. So stop treating yourself as a victim, because nobody likes a victim. Nobody likes the person that sits there and victimizes and defends themselves in every single situation. Try to flip your perspective and understand that things are happening for you. Things are happening to serve you. Things are happening to make you a different person. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you got some value out of that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.